Hi everybody, how are you all doing today? This is BA Bad One, and today I have a video to show you about the legendary tier Italian cruiser, Napoli. The build I was using in this battle was with Francesco Mimbelli, following inspirations from Maximilian von Spee and Heihachiro Togo, for the fastest reload available on the ship's smoke screens. However, the difference is not significant, as it is nowhere near a continuous smoke screen, and better inspirations can be used. I have since switched to Asia Lane Belfast and Giuseppe Fulgosi to improve firing in smoke penalty and smoke screen duration. I am trying to focus Mimbelli on the smoke screens, due to the update on his personal skill, as well as receive the smoke on the water skill. As you may have seen, I have a double rudder configuration of the modules, as originally, I had the ship with an agile build, using Soundwave, with the inspirations of Asia Lane Baltimore and Asia Lane Rune. However, I still had a 3-second rudder switch time, and since the agile builds expert mentioned a good agile build should have around a 2-second rudder switch time, I decided to try out different things, and I am still in that process. After this battle, I decide to put Asia Lane Belfast and Giuseppe Fulgosi as Francesco Mimbelli's inspirations, to improve the firing in smoke penalty and the smoke screen duration, as it obviously cannot be continuous. This ship has pretty long-range torpedoes that do decent damage, just not as long as Yoshino's. They are your typical slow speed, but fast reloading Italian sea mines. Usually, spawning in the left side of this map, is always try to come to this side of these big islands, in order to get some protection from the other enemy spawns, always taking caution when crossing the opening region. Unfortunately, we did not have the AP shells ready, otherwise this enemy Minotaur wouldn't have lasted as long as she did in this battle. The AP shells really are one of the strong points of this ship, as she has 9 10-inch guns, or 254mm, and very good accuracy, as you will see throughout this match. Her armor is also pretty good and you can tank a lot of damage, and again you will see the beating this ship takes throughout this battle. As a standard, normal Italian cruiser, a consumable suit does not include sonar, therefore, one must take caution with torpedoes, and since I abandoned the agile build, I will probably switch the second rudder modification for the target acquisition one, to help spot torpedoes and enemies close by sooner. In the meantime, I have to resort to the fighter for that purpose, although it is not as effective. One of the things this ship has, that is a bit out of the ordinary, her SAP secondary batteries. She has 6x2 90mm turrets and 4x3 152mm turrets, which can be a very spicy combination. One could use Paolo di Revel for a secondary focused build, by that would be kind of a meme one, and the secondary battery range you could get with that would be something like 8 kilometers. Even though we took a lot of torpedoes from that Iwami, we survived. And did you see the number we pulled on her with this excellent AP? Well, hold on to your butts, as we are about to serve some spicy Italian AP salvos on the enemy domain that decided it was okay to sail broadside, and get some more pretty citadel ribbons. Since her AP is so good, and she cannot use SAP shells in her main battery, using Luigi Sansonetti with a DPM build is also a good option, as you could use punch through to improve her AP penetration and damage, while also getting faster reloads and some accuracy boosting. Italian standard smoke screens do not last very long, but if used properly, provide you with a great opportunity to position and or shoot in relative safety. You can cross gaps between islands or close your distance to an enemy in order to perform a surprise attack, or simply just to shoot without being detected for a while. And ultimately, like on this case, help you to capture a base. I cannot stress enough how important it is to control the bases and accumulate points from them. The amount of points are determining to the outcome of a battle, as they are the deciding factor for a victory, and can influence the actions of teams, as the one losing should be always pressing to get more bases or kills, while the team with the lead needs to survive and hold the bases they have. You can see on the map that the enemy has taken the cap on the other flank, so in order to keep things balanced, we must not lose this one, and since they captured first, it means overall, they already have a points lead. Our teammates on the other flank will have to at least contest it a bit, in order for our team to take the lead. Meanwhile, don't you just love it when a fire timer ends exactly before your damage control and repair party timers do? Luckily, I do manage to survive this, and with the help of fully packed, we are ready to go into the frying pan again. We have a ship number lead of 4, but that can change rather fast, as we just got down to 3. Especially with my situation, so we best make sure we stay on top. And since I am not the staying in the back type, I will see if I can take one more with me after I have finished healing and start going forward again. I usually don't use the propulsion mod, as I am usually on the move and just try to dodge incoming shells and torpedoes, but for ships that are usually closer to islands or that stay in smoke shooting, it can be a lot more useful. So, I plan on moving forward after Kronstadt's radar finishes up. By the way, you liking this video? If so, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, in case you haven't already, remembering to hit the bell, so you don't miss out on any new videos. Also please provide your feedback, comments and any questions you may have in the dedicated sections below, that I will answer them all. When pushing forward it's always best to have some support and every ship has its role. Battleships and heavy cruisers are supposed to tank damage and deal kill blows with their main batteries, light cruisers provide support fire and deal damage over time, and destroyers could do the same or provide spotting and shooting torpedoes, preferably in a crossfire manner, meaning flanking the enemy. Needless to say, this allied destroyers should have gone more to the flank, to keep the enemy spotted and fire the torpedoes from that position, especially since Kronstadt just used the radar and we know this is a smoke Minotaur. Kronstadt gets taken out fairly easy as she was broadside, while we turn once again to try to finish the Minotaur, just like when we started our raid on this capture point. We end up getting 3 more citadels on her, as we dodge her salvos and the ones coming from Conqueror, in the far distance. Ultimately, they get driven back and the cap is secured. As we also get the high caliber medal. Once I am no longer spotted, I can turn around and see how else can I help the team. The initial idea is to at least keep the Conqueror spotted, since Italian cruisers have a pretty good base concealment radius. At this point, I kinda felt like Jack Sparrow shouting to stop blowing holes in my ship. Good thing Minotaur only has AP shells and the Conqueror missed all of hers. So, the enemy battleship on the other flank is about to go down now, meaning except for the enemy destroyer, there is no reason to eventually go to the other flank, as the north base is also closer, in case we need to capture one. So might as well focus in taking out Conqueror, or the Minotaur if he shows up again. Anyway, while I play a little bit of Sailing Simulator, here is a thing I thought about the other day. Luigi Sansonetti's personal skill has been changed to affect SAP shells. Before the update she was meant to have AP shells as kind of SAP, but now that we really have SAP shell it makes no sense to be in the same position, as an alternative to an AP perk, as the SAP shells usually replace HE shells, and you end up having SAP and AP shells on your cruiser's main battery. So, why not change this perk to the second row, where she can be used instead of Igniter? That boosts HE shells fire chance, unless you are counting on it to boost your secondaries on other cruisers. So, apparently our destroyer managed to spot the enemy Minotaur. I do end up shooting a few shells over the island, but unfortunately, our destroyer gets taken out as she was probably shooting at the enemy Conqueror, which does get destroyed by our Ibuki. That is capturing the northern base, meaning all we have to do left in this battle is to seal the deal on the Minotaur that has been escaping through this whole battle. Everything seems to be in order on the other flank as well, since the enemy destroyer is detected and the enemy base is being captured. The battle is pretty close to the end, as we almost have 1000 points. Just as enemy Minotaur finally shows up again, will we be able to take her out in time? Well, I can tell I will get a Dreadnought medal at the end of the battle, as she will no longer try to shoot me, but no, unfortunately she survives the battle. So, that's it for this one. I did pretty well, getting almost double the legendary service costs, without boosters, and remember no service costs fleet bonuses reflect in legendary tier. So I don't see why people complain legendary tier is too expensive. Anyway, I also come on top of the leaderboard, and that will be all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and join me on the next one. Thank you for watching, good games and goodbye.
Our team depends upon you.
Much obliged, Commander.
That's how it's done. Nice work. Good game, everyone.
Bye, have a great time.